What up, everybody? BCON here for Malice Corp. We are coming to you live to talk some iZombie. So you have come to the right place. You can stop running now. You're already here. And I feel like I'm already dead because I am like running on zombie brain tonight. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk some iZombie season finale for season 3. This was second part episode. This was Looking for Mr. Goodbrain episode part 2. So with me tonight is Super Hoovin Freak.
Hey guys, what's up? Oh my God, was that not some crazy crap that just happened?
Indeed it was. And also with us is Jack Malice.
Hello, everybody.
Initial thoughts, Jack?
I was right and wrong at the same time, and like we've said before, I'm never right.
Yeah, well, so you weren't all right, so that helps. Yeah, so here's the plan for tonight. We do have a poll. It's right there, and you could tell us if you loved it or hated it for this season finale. So definitely make sure you vote. We also have a live chat going. So if you join us, you can chat with us live right now. Tell us what you loved, what you hated, and maybe what you expect for season 4 as well. So we'll talk. So we're going to just talk about what we loved and what we liked as we kind of progress through it. Instead of just giving you a recap, we're just going to jump right in and just talk about things we loved and hopefully stay in some sort of chronological order, if that makes sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or am I still on zombie brain?
Still on zombie brain.
Okay. Super. What did you start us off? What was your kind of favorite part, kind of from the beginning?
My favorite part was probably I liked when Clive actually brought Dale into it. You know, trusting her enough to open up. And then the way it ended was just, that was sad. So I liked that. I liked Liv's boyfriend not forgiving her.
Yes.
I know that's a little ironic, but you know what? It wasn't an excuse, you know? And so I liked that. Very, very sad about finding out Natalie was indeed blown up. I was kind of hoping maybe a little bit of a miracle, but I had a feeling it wasn't.
I would say that I would give her the bye if it had been Blue Brain.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but blue in a different sense, not
right.
color, like blew up. Yeah.
And that was
so much good stuff too.
So many good things. That and well, obviously, you know, the whole deduction of finding out getting the memory flash and seeing that it was indeed the I'm terrible with names. What was her name? Gold.
Yeah, it was actually Patrice, the daughter, was the one. Well, we I don't know if we ever got a conclusion as to who actually did the killing.
But she was the one that ordered the hit.
Yeah.
To put in this secret plan B, because apparently plan A of retiring to an island and being safe was what did they call it? The coward's way out. The coward's sentence.
Well, it was actually, you know,
that's the part that I was saying that I was right about, was that it was the daughter that they got caught eating brains, and she whacked Katie Cups with the lacrosse stick. She killed her with a lacrosse stick, and then her mom covered it up and just took the opportunity to put plan B into play. Yeah,
absolutely. But when you think about it from that zombie perspective, plan A, while it seems great, she was right, man. It was Carrie Gold was totally right. Like, what, you're gonna put all the zombies in one space on one island, like,
and expect you to coexist peacefully, you know,
and expect you not to get nuked off the face of the earth?
Yeah.
Like, really?
That would have only worked if you could in fact keep it 100% secret. But come on, how does that stay secret in today's world? It doesn't.
See, the whole plan was not the island is inside Seattle. It's inside the city limits of Seattle. So they were banking on the fact that they had all the zombies contained inside a single island that's within the city of Seattle, and that the government's not going to nuke a single island in the middle of one of our largest in the nation.
Nuke, or you could still drop, bombs on that sucker and get away with it without killing innocent.
Well, yeah, but see, they're also a military organization. They're military contractors. Right. I'm expecting they had planned on having SAMs or some kind of air defense, but the whole point was, hey, we're in the middle of a large city. They're not going to nuke a city to take out a few thousand people that are staying on an island. That would be backlash. Like, even if they did, they were banking on, a lot of different stuff. It was a risky role, but they were banking on it,
Yeah, just to I want to recap real quick back to last episode we did last week. Two of the things we talked about at the end there was, who do we think is going to die and who do we think is going to become a zombie? And I love that we were all like, it can't be Major again. They're not going to go down that road again, are they? And
they did.
And they did.
Although
that was a surprise to me. Yeah,
it was, but at least in this case, it kind of made sense a little bit. His reason, he was going to leave. He was going to leave all this behind. They were going to run off to Italy, and then she gets blown up, and his friends all just died. And so it's like, well, in his mind, what's the point of being human? All it brought him was grief. At least as a zombie, he had the family, he had the network, he had the support system. The humanity doesn't want him. He's the chaos killer, and he's never gonna lose that here in America.
Well, there's the other thing. There's the fact that his best friends, the people that did accept him and take him in as part of their family, had just been murdered by a human.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, by a zombie, but.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harley Johns was a zombie at that point, but. Yeah.
Which was insane.
Hey, I do want to say what up to Big Papa Matt hanging out in the chat channel, and as well as Beth. So, hey guys, glad that you joined us. And Beth just dropped a little, even with backlash, the government would just say accidents happen. So that's, fair point as well.
What's the phrase that they always use? The one that they use in Iron Man, routine training went wrong or something like that.
Weather balloons or
training accident.
Yeah. Oh, well, we will apologize and repair. Yes.
Right.
Yes. We'll build it bigger and better. Well, but that idea can still be out there. If the zombies are taking over Seattle, which is what's happened, they basically said, screw you. We're here in Seattle. This is our city now. If you want to stay, hey, we'd love to have you. You need to know what to expect. Otherwise, bring us your brains because.
But they just traded the island for a whole city, Seattle. And now they don't have for all of Seattle, and now they don't have a civilian populace to hide behind or be protected from the nuclear option or firebomb option or whatever. Now they're calling themselves pretty much an independent city state.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's the same problem that they were calling him out for with less defense.
Yeah. Because you can't defend this. It's not the light of Venus has seen through the smoke gas. That's great.
Good to see you too, Eric. Glad that you're joining us. Lots of love in the chat channel. I like it. Make sure you're voting. So if you guys just joined us, the vote is right.
It's
there. Right.
I mean, we are assuming that most of the populace has fled Seattle, because they said, Liv said at the end as she walked into the morgue, I'm back to my zombie look, and basically everyone stopped long enough to flip me the bird and then keep driving out of the city.
Lots of moving trucks.
But you have to think that there would be some people that would stay, some crazy, I don't know, I prepared for this, like
family.
This is my moment to show their own family.
You saw them at the end. You saw them at the end when they were rushing the brain trucks. And but there's also going to be people that stay because I hate to say this, but if my wife was infected and there was this kind of plague, or zombie, I wouldn't be leaving. I'd be staying.
Yeah,
you stay to support your family.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know,
because they still are.
Or you become one, and you just whatever.
And they'll live as a little happy zombie family, and it it's simpatico, as they said.
Apparently, Clive is not going to go that route, though. But it was sweet to see him dyeing her hair, and
yeah.
I said this on the last show we did, or last video we did, that I didn't want to see Clive become a zombie, but now I do. I do.
Because of Dale, or just because?
I do. No, because I can see him picking up the fight and becoming part of the group.
Huh?
And because of Dale too. But
we've seen a lot of character change actually in Clive. I mean, in this season alone, we've seen a pretty big shift from him being kind of that law and order to really taking risks.
You nailed that was my favorite part of the episodes. You asked her what hers was, but my favorite part was at the mid-range point after what's his name shot the three guards and dropped her. And
fantastic scene too.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
And he goes, "Is she responsible?" And he's like, "Well, if she didn't pull the trigger, she called the hit." And he's like, "Well, so I think I should clean this up in house." And Clive's just like, "Yeah, sounds good to me."
And that to me right there was a big change in Clive's character. And I don't want to say I like the fact he's moving away from the law and order, but he was very two-dimensional at the very beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. It was just very, I'm a cop. I must follow the rules. And he slowly progressed into a real character with a lot of different layers and lots of nuance. And I like it.
Yeah,
I don't want to. Tim or Jack, onion. Has he become an onion?
Well,
he's become a cake. He's become a cake. He's got layers. He's still sweet. He's not an onion. He's not sour.
Okay. No ogres in this.
No, he's not an ogre.
But I love the development of Clive. I mean, honestly, we've seen season 1 we've talked about was the setup. Season 2 there was a lot of filler, but it was kind of bringing us along to this Discovery Day, which we've come to. I love there's the character development over these 3 seasons. We have Liv, who has come into her own. She knows who she is. She's found her identity. She's okay with, she wants to be cured, but she's accepted the responsibility that she has, that she's in a unique situation where she's able to help people. We've seen the changes that Clive has produced in his, really he's a loyal dude, and he is loyal to the people he loves, whether they're a freaking zombie or they're a human or whatever. And we've seen Ravi start to progress in a way that he's now taking a risk, and that he's trying the zombie vaccine and then letting Liv scratch him to see if it works. And of course, we don't know. We'll find out next season. That was the big cliffhanger, and we don't know who the bad guys are anymore. It's really blurred.
Well, again, I say the bad guys are going to be there's going to be 2 bad guys now. This is my prediction. There's going to be the group that's still inside Graves.
Call them the Graves. Okay.
Yeah, well, there's going to be the 3 bad guys. You just mentioned the third one. I didn't think about. There's going to be the U.S. government is going to be bad guy numero 1. Then you're going to have a group of zombies show up that are inside the Fillmore Graves group, and outside people that are like, oh, we don't want to just stay in Seattle. We want to move out. We want to, grow out. And then you're going to have the resistance of people in Seattle that don't want to leave and want to wipe out the zombies. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Maybe.
We don't know.
You'll be half right and half something else.
Yeah.
Just like usual. Like
half right and terribly wrong on the rest.
But yeah, it's interesting. One thing I do like that we were wrong about, we all thought that Chase was going to die. But I think we all had a character we put him in a different kind of character zone. Like we thought he was the bad guy, the one that was responsible for things, and it turns out that
I didn't. I said he was the good guy.
Yeah, but I love that.
The mayor, yeah, right.
No, I'm talking about Chase Graves.
Oh, Chase. Okay, yeah.
And I really love that it seems like he's now kind of becoming a protagonist in this show, and there's a connection obviously with him to Veronica Mars, which is another Rob Thomas product. So the fans obviously love the fact that he's in the show, and to see that he's going to get to continue on into season 4, I think is a good thing for this show.
I think he's going to be Liv's new love interest, or at least starting out as his new love interest for the next season.
He's a little condescending with her, though. The whole reason she went back to the zombie look was, I think it was because he pissed her off when he said, "Oh, I love the new look. You're finally conforming," or whatever it was that he said. And she got.
I don't think it was condescending. I think it was sarcastic. He was being sarcastic. There's a difference.
I think he's just into her, man. I mean, like we all are.
And he was yanking her chain. Was that the equivalent of pulling pigtails? Okay.
Yeah,
fair. That's fair. But he definitely is into her.
Yeah, I mean, he gives her a lot of leadway when you think about it. Like, yeah, interesting. The whole jumping into the pool and going, I hope this is a booty call. And then I love that they're sitting there and they're like, well, we better go. And he's like, well, your clothes aren't going to be dry for 30 minutes. You want to watch some television? And I'm just picturing like her sitting there in the robe and Clive just kind of like, sketchy watching, and them all watching a show together. Like zombie.
Well, if they were watching a show, they had to be watching The Flash.
Or Zombie High, right? Because Zombie High is one of the big shows on there. I don't know if The Flash exists as an actual television show there, because there's been talk about finding a way to even do crossovers with.
Oh my God!
I know it's a Vertigo product,
but I'm a Flash fan, so
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, yes, he's a Flash fan, but I think that there's a possibility that CW may do an actual Flash iZombie crossover.
Really? They were also talking about doing
There's been rumors of that.
Arrow Supernatural. They're trying to merge those two worlds. That one might be a little harder though. To merge over.
Matt would be able to answer this a little bit better. iZombie's a Vertigo product and Flash is a DC product. How would that go with mixing them?
Yeah, we'll see what he says, but I want to say Vertigo. Yeah, I'm not sure what the rights are like there. I did watch a bunch of interviews with Rose that Rose did recently, and it seems like there's possibilities out there. Matt's saying Riverdale, choosing between he's commenting on some Riverdale stuff, which is funny.
Talking about the poll from last night.
No, he's talking about Riverdale had it come up, but Preacher had it last night too, the Veronica versus Betty. And it looks like Riverdale might have had a similar Veronica. Veronica all day long. One love. How did this get
Well, he does say that they have a lot of crossovers, I guess, from Vertigo and DC right now. So it's possible, I guess.
And that's kind of where I was going with it is there's big talk that very well could happen. So that's why I think that they wouldn't be watching a Flash show, because Flash may actually exist in real life and not be just a television character.
He says that Vertigo is technically part of DC now.
Yeah. There you go. From the source himself, fact checker, Big Papa Matt. Love it. Wow. So what else? I loved, we talked about this right before we went on. I loved the soundtrack tonight. We all loved the music that was tied in tonight. And Super Hooving and I kind of, in a small sort of way, got our wish with a musical episode, because we did have a bunch of zombies in the scratching post on Blue Choreographer Brain.
Oh, Blue Choreographer.
that was ridiculously funny. I mean, they were doing their thing, and they were happy, and just let them dance. Just let them dance. But I also
fantastic.
I made the comment
but that goes back to proving my point though. If Liv had been on Blue, Katie Cup's brain, yeah, I could give her a pass with taking off with Chase and
yes.
you know.
Yes, but she was just on regular brain, and I don't think she was trying that hard to fight it personally. I really don't.
I just think it was an excuse to let loose and cut loose and do what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm distracted by the Veronica Benny discussion in the chat.
Oh my god.
Oh, where were you guys last night during our preacher call? Gosh, man, this would have been even so.
That's hilarious.
We got to stay on track here.
But
go ahead, Super. Sorry.
I was saying right before this chat that the way that they came out on the television with Chase Graves doing the whole speech explaining exactly what was going on, blah blah blah, it took me back to the beginning of the True Blood books, which I'm sure that's not exactly how it happened in the True Blood books. They basically just had vampires on the television and they were like, yeah, hey, we're here, the supernatural exists, basically we're going to be living in your cities, so suck it up. It was kind of like that same thing where it's like, okay, we're here, we're not leaving, so you better get used to us. Send us your brains when you die. Kisses, hugs. I mean, it's like it was that same kind of. So I'm wondering if they're going to have, if they're going to be a little different than True Blood, because obviously, by the time the True Blood books were written, whatever resistance was squashed. It was basically like they were treated like gays. They had their haters and they had their extremists that would go to the lengths, and I think it's going to be that same kind of thing in iZombie now.
Yeah, I don't want to get political on this talk because you bring up a point, like what's it going to kind of go to, and is it with that society and that outcast kind of mentality of
how are they going to be treated now?
Yeah.
Have a much worse reputation than vampires, especially nowadays.
Right.
The way with vampire books and whatnot, they're not terrified and reviled like zombies are. Everybody, you hear a lot of zombie outbreaks, people freak out. But
vampires and werewolves now, they're romanticized. They are. It's very hard to romanticize zombies because this is the first show where they've actually been like functioning members of society. Most of the times they're just,
brain-sucking monsters.
Yeah. Or they're crazy psycho fast, like the ones from I Am Legend, that Will Smith movie, I Am Legend?
I Am Legend is based off of a vampire movie or book.
Oh, okay.
They're vampires.
All right, bad example. Resident Evil, though, weren't the Resident Evil ones like super powered, super fast?
Another good one would be 28 Days
28
Later.
Days
or 28
Later.
Yes, there you go. That one. Yeah.
Quintessential.
But they're still mindless in the sense of they just want one thing. They're not trying to be a functioning member of society.
Right, but that's the kind of the twist to iZombie is if you continue to eat healthy brain, you prevent yourself from going to that feral iZombie stage. That full-on zombie all the time,
The Romero. You prevent yourself from going Romero.
Right.
But that's a question. That's another question. If Ravi's vaccine works and they dose people with it, what is that going to mean for the brain supply? So
people are still going to die, so they're not going to, it's not a live forever cure.
Yeah, but if you have a vaccine that's in your blood, you have antibodies that protect you from the zombie virus. Will that make your brains poisonous, or will it make it a cure to somebody that eats it?
That's interesting.
Oh, that could be a fun twist. One you wouldn't see coming.
When we're on the subject of vampires, and one question I have is are we going to see that introduced into season 4 or 5? Please, Lord, let it happen, because that vampires are absolutely in the iZombie comics. So
that would be fun. That could be a fun twist. Like now that it could be treated as, okay, now the zombies have come out. Now it's time for the rest of them to come out of hiding.
Zombie vampire war.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get into that. I don't think
season 5.
Interesting.
Can vampires eat zombies?
Yeah.
They drink their blood, and can zombies eat vampire brains?
Oh, would you have a zombie that becomes a vampire? Undead twice? Twice undead? Is that like twice baked potatoes?
Oh, that sounds tasty right now, though. But it could be a power struggle, maybe, to see who's going to take control. If indeed other supernatural creatures are out.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Yes. I'm just reading Big Papa Matt's.
I know.
Yeah.
But see, in this reality, Big Papa Matt, you can be cured of the zombie disease, and then you just turn into a normal human. So therefore, they're really not. Now that I think about it, they're not really undead. They're just plague humans.
Yeah, plague humans that crave brains.
That's a good way to describe it, and that actually is the advocacy, right, of Fillmore Graves and really in Liv's point of view is that it is a disease, right? It's a virus that's taken over that is curable, and is treatable, and that whole like we all just need to get along, you know,
and help each other. I mean, if they all worked together to find what is it, the ingredient they're missing, the tainted utopium.
Utopium.
I mean, that there's got to be someone out there who knows how to create that.
The problem was they couldn't identify the chemical that actually tainted the drug.
That's right.
You can't reproduce something if you don't know what the chemical is. So
and right now, they knew how to make it was Max Rager, and he's dead. Right?
Well, no, it was
he
an
didn't
accident.
even know what the taint was.
Yeah.
It was just a taint that was in there, and when it was mixed, when you take the utopium that's tainted and you mix it with Max Rager, and somebody takes both of them, instant zombie,
which is what that triggered the lake attack.
Yeah, and the Max Rager party as well. That's what happened with the scientists taking the tainted utopium and then drinking Max Rager and going, nah.
Yeah, which ended up saving Liv and Clive and Major. So it was good in that regard. But man,
it ended up killing Rob Thomas.
Oh yeah, that was sad.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
That was really sad.
In fun news for you guys, I told you I was watching a bunch of Rose McIver interviews this week, and the last one I watched, they were asking her like, what's her favorite, like what is her favorite episodes, what's her favorite brain, all that kind of stuff, right? And she did admit that D20 is one of her favorite episodes, and so I know all of you nerds out there like D20, and she said like I never played Dungeons and Dragons, but now I'm interested. So I think we need to send her an invite to our guild, and I guess we gotta create a guild first. But
it's a good training
character. It won't take long.
You gotta. Everyone says it's such a waste of time, but it's not. I mean, it teaches you strategies. It teaches you critical thinking skills. It teaches you how to find your way out of situations. I mean, obviously, I know in the real world we're not going to be using magic and stuff, but it still makes you think outside the box.
Magic missile. Sorry.
But it does make you think outside of the box and how to solve problems and
critical hit. Roll for stealth. Oh, jeez.
Technical.
Failed. Roll to 1.
Yeah, you
roll. Yeah, this guy critical fail, which is a great book
failed
series.
Your dex check. Yeah, critical fail on your dex check right there.
Yeah, not good. Last thing that I really liked about this episode, before it's at the very end when Liv is talking with Ravi, and Ravi, eats the vaccine and then says that, I want it to be you. And Liv says, I love you, Ravi. And he says, I love you, Liv. And like the relationship that those two have together. I was watching with my wife, and my buddy was with us, and we were all watching it together. And he's like, when are they going to hook up? Because he's not quite watched every episode yet. He's like somewhere just past season 1, and then he's watched the season 3 finale. I'm like, dude, no, it's platonic. Like they're
that's like brother and sister right there, man.
Yeah, they're really, really close friends.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, and you knew that when she saw him last week in the memories with the sex between him and she was so skeeved out by it. It was just like, it's never going to happen. Like, she doesn't see him. They don't see each other in that way, in any way, shape, or form.
Flatulent Jabba the Hutt.
Big Papa Matt says it's obvious, Super Hoovian, that you don't carry a sword and shield in your car. So I'm wondering if he does.
He doesn't need to. He has a beard.
It's true. He kind of already has the barbarian dwarf look going on. Beard needs to be a little bit longer, and he needs a helmet with horns.
Yeah, sure. I can go with that. Yeah. Anything else that we didn't cover?
No, I think the only thing that's left is what we speculation, and I already did a little bit of that with what we'll see next season.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just going to be they left it on a cliffhanger. How does the rest of the world, not just Seattle, but how does the U.S. react? How is it going to, they're probably going to bring in someone to play the president. I'm sure the White House is going to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to go somewhere with this, and I don't remember where I was going to go.
Well, the very first thing I think will happen is they're going to do the old standard cliche quarantine lines and roadblocks, and you're going to have the army out there with the CDC and people, blocking it off.
Are they? But I don't know that Fillmore Graves is going to let them in.
No, they're going to they will set up roadblocks on the outside to prevent anybody from coming out or going in.
Right.
But you know what? He did make a good point when Chase did his video where he was like, nobody's going to die from the illusion flu. Your loved ones will be saved. They'll live long, happy lives, never affected by disease. I wonder if they'll see a large exodus of people from around the nation who are sick and dying that are trying to get to Seattle to get cured.
Interesting. That's an interesting thought too.
That could be cool. Yeah, that could be interesting.
That was now that you brought up, that was one of the things that made me appreciate Chase's character even more. Is he said the line like, I could have just let him die. I could have just let him suffer and die, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked his little speech there at the right before he popped the I can never remember her name.
Carrie Gold.
Carrie Gold.
Right, but he hated the fact she in it, but now he was stuck with it.
Right.
Now he's got to do damage control, and he's trying to find the the right thing to do, the moral right thing to do for everybody with what he can do. You know what I mean? And that right there is a really cool leadership. It's not a trope that you see a lot where leaders have to make hard decisions.
Mm-hmm.
In television, it's always they get the happy ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always write it in a way where the leader gets a happy ending, and he had to pick something that was truly terrible on both sides and just let it happen. He could have stepped in and stopped it as soon as he saw it happening and prevented the vaccination from happening. But he knew if he did that, all the people that had the illusion flu, that did have the illusion flu, because she brought it in and spread it. Not spread it. Spread it.
Words. Phrases.
Yeah, words are good. That they were all going to die, and then, then now what? So I let all these people die, or I come out and say, hey, we did this, and now zombies are discovered, and we got no protection.
Yeah.
So I mean,
one thing that I was gonna say, I keep losing it, man. This chat channel is got me just damn near in stitches right now. Like you guys, I love you guys so much. You're so funny.
focus.
Yeah, it gone.
Well, I'll say then I'm sure part of season 4 is Clive going to be helping Dale adjust. Because how crappy is that? It's like, okay, you find out the truth and then you think you're going in to get cured and instead you're turned into a zombie. And here's your life. Bam. What are you going to do? You know?
Well, I think he's gonna bite the bullet and or take the scratch. I
don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna see that happen. I think Clive is gonna stick to
being a human.
Well, and finding every chance to cure her.
He's already lost so many people that he's loved that have become zombies. He's lost them, and I think he's just going to go ahead and take the change. And
but he also knows that the cure works. He also knows that the cure works, and that Ravi is the one that can figure it out. Ravi's figured it out before, and I think that he's got enough trust in that team that it can happen again, and they can figure it out, and they're going to figure it out. But the way that he's so scared of like just the flu and all that stuff, I cannot see him doing that.
It is kind of funny though. It is kind of funny that he is such a germaphobe in this,
zombies don't have to worry about germs.
Yeah.
Right.
But I almost want Ravi's vaccine to not work just because I want to see Ravi with the white hair and the white beard.
You were saying that, yeah.
So weird. It might happen for a little bit, but I'm sure that they're going to turn his character back because he really is best as a human.
Well, you think about it too, we still have unresolved issues that hopefully we're going to find out, did this vaccine work? We're going to find out how does the rest of the nation deal with what's going on in Seattle, respond to it. We also have missing cures. The cure, like, let's not forget the cures. There are a certain set of cures and doses.
Yeah, 10 doses, something like that, that are missing.
That are missing, that were stolen. Those are still out there somewhere. So we're going to hopefully get some closure on that. Maybe that leads to, being able to cure some more folks. And then we also have Mr. Boss, who is out of the country procuring brains or doing whatever he's doing. Who knows what could happen from him leaving Seattle? What if?
And then you have what's his name's dad in the well?
Yes, you have Blaine's dad.
Blaine's dad in the well, yeah. I mean, he's been stuck down there for a while, starving.
Mm-hmm.
What's that last scene? Blaine's dad's trapped in the well.
Oh my God! I actually forgot about his character. I wonder if Blaine wouldn't forget about him.
No, he goes there and he sets up the chair.
He
reads the news to him and he throws him little scraps and plays songs for him.
Yeah, he does because he's kind of an ass.
Well, no, his dad was kind of an ass too, so it's kind of like he's getting payback.
Yeah. Well, he deserves it. I mean, his dad was an ass. We're not going to lie.
But so is Blaine. So
he is. But he's
don't get me wrong. I love the character. He's one of my favorite characters.
He's way more charismatic and likable as an ass than his dad was. His dad was just power hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should probably consider wrapping up, I think. How's our poll doing there, Jack?
Let's take a look.
If you're in that chat channel and you haven't voted yet, vote. All right. If you're watching this later, we should still have the card up for you to vote. So you can still let your nerd voice be heard.
So we got 4 votes in the chat channel.
Okay.
All for 100%. They loved it.
Awesome. Yay. So, we all loved it too. Just a wonderful, wonderful show, and I just can't wait for season 4. and just to see more and more of how this all plays out.
Question is, what am I going to watch now without the
Preacher.
Flash, without Supernatural,
You're gonna
without
watch.
Arrow, without?
You're gonna watch Preacher. You got 11 more episodes of Preacher. That's 11 weeks of Preacher, boy.
Oh, I guess I
Take him to church.
You can embrace your inner dance mom and watch So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah,
how about no?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not happening with Jack. No, you're gonna watch Preacher for the next 11 weeks. That'll tide you over until maybe, I don't know, something else comes up.
It'll get them through most of hiatus.
Yeah.
Well.
And by then, hopefully, maybe Stranger Things 2 will have dropped on Netflix.
Oh, in August we have Defenders. So
Defenders.
The problem is Defenders is only gonna last like one day, because if you're like me,
I'll kill it.
You're gonna binge watch the whole thing.
Yeah, but we could always split the talking about it into a few. So.
Yeah.
Good stuff coming. Good stuff coming.
So good. so good. Well, so it's been fun. It's been a great season. Thank you for joining us these last 2 episodes. We will have an article out there tomorrow that will have these 2 videos placeholded together for you. Yeah, but why don't you let us know where we can follow you, Super?
Sorry. I was getting distracted by Big Papa Matt saying, "How did you forget about Game of Thrones?"
Yes.
Duh. But anyways, you can follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active, at SuperHoovianNut. And then you can also follow me on Instagram at SuperHoovianFreak.
And Jack?
Jack on Twitter at Jack_Malice. And then, of course, you got the Malice Corp Twitter as well, at Malice Corp. Or you could just go to Malice Corp website, which is, .com. We got tons of information and cool stuff there, and you can always drop a comment or send a message there.
Absolutely. So definitely check out the website, malice-corp.com, all things nerd. Tons of stuff out there. We dropped a bunch of stuff today. There's some stuff coming out tomorrow as well. So lots of things to look forward to. We have our normal podcast Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you join us for that. And that's really all we have for this week. And then next week we will have Monday night. We will have Preacher episode 3 with myself and the Big Papa Matt and possibly Super Hoovian if she catches up. So.
I'll be caught up by then.
Okay, good.
I hopefully will be caught up. I'm 3 episodes back, so
yep.
You're so close. And man, this season has been so awesome. It's been so good. And you'll see me all dressed up like a preacher, because that's what we do sometimes. I would have dressed up like a zombie, but I'm already feeling like a zombie, so it's okay. But you can follow me at BCON_Malice Corp on Twitter. You can follow the Malice Cast Live at MaliceCast on Twitter. You can also follow me on PlayStation Network, BCON_Malice Corp. So with that, we'd like to thank everybody that joined us in the chat channel. Thank you, everybody who has given us love by liking, subscribing, reading our content on the website, following us on Twitter, following the Facebook page. Thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. We really do appreciate you. So if you like this, like the video, subscribe, and if you hit that little bell, you just click that little guy. That'll give you alarms. It'll let you know when we're going live, when we're putting things out. So drop a comment as well. We'd love to hear from you and love to hear what you thought about iZombie Season 3 now that we have reached the end. So with that, we will say adieu and stay nerdy out there.